Chosen. Beyond the irate customers, outside the cafe's front window, Maddie saw the black horse. You can barely even call it a horse, she thought, her finger hovering above the cash register touchscreen. A customer tapped her ring on the glass case and asked a question about gluten. Thing's a goddamn majestic steed is what it is. How was no one else noticing, pointing, taking pictures? Maddie stood behind the counter, transfixed, searching for any detail within this strange light-sucking silhouette painted onto the Cup and Bean parking lot. It was all blackness, a steed-shaped hole you could jump into, escape through. The black rider slipped between the cafe doors, a twist of undulating black fabric. Maddie's backlog of customers chose that moment to point their eyes elsewhere, phones, watches, paperbacks, making way for the imposing figure. His face shrouded in a deep hood, he approached like smoke. When the specter struck his scythe handle against the tile floor, the sound reverberated through Maddie's bones and settled heavily in her chest. Maddie had never faced death, definitely not capital D death. She'd been a passenger in a minor car accident when she was 12. She'd struggled against an undertow off Block Island. Nothing serious, nothing grave. So what now? Was she about to choke on her gum? Was a gun nut about to shoot the place up? The Grim Reaper stood motionless before her. What did I do to deserve this? The cafe had gone dim somehow, the customers' movements sluggish as they avoided the figure at the cash register. For them, time had slowed to a crawl.
I am early,
Death announced, his voice a distant bass thrum.
My steed moves swiftly, Madeline.
He knows my name, Jesus fucking Christ, he knows my name. Maddie nodded, biting her inner cheek to hold her shit together. Inside his cloak, Maddie caught a glimpse of pale skin, paper-thin and stretched across ancient ribs. She thought of time, decay, doom. Her eyes glossed with tears. Who are you?
You know.
Death, she thought. Fate. Time. Judgment.
Not a judge, a steward.
He was in her head. This did not put her at ease. Sorry I'm late, Mads, Allison said, dropping her bag behind the counter. Maddie's coworker arrived for her shift as she did every day. Sleepy eyes hidden behind 50s retro sunglasses, an iced latte from Starbucks, and an apology. There's a guy sitting in front of CVS with a typewriter writing free poems for people, and I totally had to... She peered over her sunglasses at her trembling friend and followed Maddie's gaze to the customer. Can we help you? Death opened his hand, the finger joints creaking, and beckoned Allison to join the conversation. She eye-rolled hard. Don't let me intrude on your guy's mome. She shrugged off her jeans jacket. You from trivia night? Maddie won't shut up about her trivia night nerd buds.
I am not from trivia night,
Death said. Maddie gripped Allison's hand. He's not, she whispered hoarsely. He's not from trivia night. Ow, bitch, you trying to disfigure me? Allison yanked free. You know I'm going to be a hand model. She parked her latte cup on the counter, ice cubes clattering. You're not supposed to leave that where customers can see, Maddie thought distractedly. Doug will be pissed. Anyway, Allison said, peeking at the line over Death's shoulder. Busy for a Tuesday. What are you guys yapping about?
My business is death,
Death declared.
The time of passing is at hand.
Cool, Allison said, nodding. Cool. Maddie's gaze darted around the room. Who is seeing this? Where's an impatient commuter when I need one? Why isn't there a douchebag shoving his travel mug in my face and shattering this doom? She dug her fingernails into her palms to stop her hands from shaking. Attention from this being was too much to bear. It was the terror of a god glancing in your direction. She stood naked before an unblinking eye, the map of her life unfolded and pressed flat on the counter. I don't want to die, she heard herself say, but wasn't sure if she believed it. She felt seen by the universe, exposed, singled out. What better time to leave?
Want is not my domain.
Allison folded her arms. Cool scythe.
The sea is silent.
Death said.
Scythe, like seethe with an eye. Scythe.
What? No, Allison said with a frown. It's scythe, like if you said skies but had a lisp. She laughed and leaned into Maddie. I just thought of that. Maddie ignored her. What are you going to do with it? Maddie asked Death, raising her chin towards the blade. Death sighed. It was a raspy and distant exhale, an echo in a cave.
Do you know what I do, Madeline?
Haunted hayrides? Allison asked. Halloween store at the mall? She doubled over in laughter, holding her hand up for a high five. Maddie shot Allison her shut-the-fuck-up look. They'd been friends since 6th grade, and in all that time it had never once worked. Maddie never stopped trying. Could you not right now? She hissed.
With the heel of my scythe, I usher my ward on to the next world.
At usher, he struck his palm outwards towards Maddie. She flinched. What, you push him? Allison asked. Death outlined a circle over the counter.
The pit of despair is wide and deep. One requires assistance to make it over to the fairer land beyond.
Maddie could almost see flames swirling in the circle. Heaven? She asked. You're talking about heaven and hell?
Names do not concern me.
But you help people.
I fulfill my duties as those who came before me fulfilled theirs. Each time I act, I surrender a bit of myself so a soul may pass. Each time, it is my honor.
Fucking A, Allison said, tipping her latte towards him. Respect. Death stood straighter.
Time grows short. What binds this frame is untenable. The time of passing is nigh.
I don't want to pass, Maddie said, tears rising again. I haven't even... The Black Rider massaged his bony temple.
I speak of the stewardship of the scythe.
Huh? I think he's offering you a job, Allison said, elbowing her friend. You could be the Grim Sheeper. Bah! Leaning against the counter for support, she literally slapped her knee. Maddie stepped back. This is crazy, she thought. It felt like a pretty fair assessment of the situation, so she said it out loud. This is crazy. So you're not here to scythe me into 1,000 pieces?
I am not.
Maddie forced her fists to loosen and put her hands on her hips. Well, I'm not going to become you. No offense. The Black Rider said nothing. No, sorry, I can't do that, she continued. I can't be Death. Pick someone else. Death laughed, a tongueless bark that caused the steed outside to stir.
I do not pick, I arrive. I do not seek. I follow the light that shines upon my successor, the same light that once shone upon me.
Maddie looked up. No light, just a menu board hanging from the tin ceiling. She pointed at it and gave him her best duh face.
I recollect when the Black Rider came to me and beckoned from the saddle. He called me chosen and held this blade aloft.
Death swung the scythe over the counter and held it dead still, his knuckle bones almost touching Allison's forehead.
These words he said unto me.
Wait, what? Maddie asked, her eyes darting between the Black Rider and her friend. Oh, damn, this is like a proposal. She grabbed her phone out of her bag. Miss Grimreaper, she hooted to the indifferent cafe. Death bowed his head.
This scythe shall endure both snath and chine.
Her? You want her? Maddie couldn't believe this shit. To be Death. Seriously. What? I can do it. Allison punched Maddie in the shoulder with one hand while steadying her Instagram with the other. Get to go around slapping people across the pit of hell like a hockey puck? That sounds tight as fuck. Allison. She shrugged. What do you want me to do? Be all, no thanks? Yes. She pointed at the ceiling. The friggin' light chose me. Maddie tilted her head back, tears in her eyes. I don't see it, she whispered.
This mantle shall shroud thy journey,
Death intoned. Oh, I'm not wearing that, Allison said. Fat freaking chance. There, Maddie shouted at Death. She's not going to wear the cloak. She's a crazy choice. This is insane. She spun towards the seating area, looking for someone to back her on this. Lowered heads and laptop screens and earbuds. No different than usual, really. This is all insane.
This steed shall ferry from hither to yonder,
Death said. Outside, the mighty horse turned and looked through the front window, its eyes fire. No shit, Allison wondered. She flipped her camera around and gave it a not-too-shabby nod. Maddie's jaw dropped open. She gets the steed? Why can't I get a steed? Don't I deserve a steed? What's your problem, Mads? You were all crying when you thought he was here for you. I thought he was gonna chop me up. Allison folded her arms and shook her head in disappointment. In the lenses of her friend's sunglasses, Maddie glimpsed the reflection of an unearthly light. That sky that's for pushing, Allison said. The sea is silent.
This servant shall give, so others may pass,
Death said. He leaned over the counter, twisted his fleshless wrist, and planted the scythe handle between Allison's all-stars.
You are chosen.
Allison, Maddie pleaded, everything about this is totally 100% wrong. You're fucking this moment up for me, Madeline, Allison said, wagging her phone at her friend. I'm gonna have to mute the sound when I post this, and that really sucks. She slung her bag over her shoulder. I'm out. Allison grasped the ancient hardwood, the scythe passing from death to death. Outside, the steed struck a hoof against the parking lot, leaving a mark in the asphalt Maddie would study every time she worked a shift for the next 3 years, whenever she visited the dry cleaner that took over the storefront after the cafe closed, and when she visited in her final years, carefully bending low to touch the spot with arthritic fingers. Cup and bean customers parted for Allison as she swung around the counter, scythe in hand, the reaper following closely at her heels. The deaths joined into a single silhouette and slipped between the doors. The line reformed in their wake as the cafe undimmed. Maddie's jaw moved, but no sound came out. Tears streamed down her cheeks, the clamor of impatient consumerism refilling the room. The black rider mounted her steed. She doesn't even pronounce it right. Allison's Instagram got a ton of likes.